Hey guys, it's Larry, and today I want to do a tier list. So yeah, I was like, this channel's getting really boring, so I want to do a tier list. So yeah, this is the outcome. So let's do this. So we have Inkling Girl, which basically, yeah, we'll go with the Inklings. The Inklings are the characters you play as. Like, they're the characters that you play as. Like, you play as them throughout this whole campaign. Yeah, I'm also gonna include Agent 3 and Agent 4 into this, because they're also Inklings, so yeah. So basically, the Inkling is a squid that has evolved over thousands of years. That they have been advanced to walk on land. So yeah, the Inklings are interesting because they can use basically any weapon. Well, yeah, if they give, like, imagine if you gave an Inkling a gun. They'll just shoot people, and they'll be like shooting at the ground, like, why isn't it working? Well, yeah, because it's flipping ink. Because it's not ink. It's bullets. I'm sorry, it's the first time I'm gonna talk about a gun on my YouTube channel. They can use any weapon. Like, they can use rollers, sloshers, dualies, which I absolutely despise. We have splatlings. We got, sloshers. I think I already said that. Splatter shots. We have a variety of weapons that the Inklings can use. Also, they can use a lot of gear to their disposal. So yeah, I'm gonna put the Inklings in a solid B tier. Same goes for you, Inkling boy. Solid B. So yeah, wait, okay, I'm sorry. We might as well just put them best for last. Okay, next is Commander Tartar. Now, Commander Tartar is a really interesting character. Even though he doesn't have that much lines, the Commander Tartar, or, well, telephone, they're in the Deep Sea Metro when you first boot up the game. Well, not when you first boot up the game. Well, near the beginning of the game, and he basically tells you that you are contestant. Well, I can't. Well, you are contestant. Listen, I can't remember everything. Okay. Oh, it's 308. Well, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. 3,000 in air, probably, or something like that. So yeah, Commander Tartar, he basically tells you that you have to collect. Four things, and yeah, you collect the four things, and near the end of the campaign, well, here's a little spoiler for you. Commander Tartar basically asks you, what did Agent 4 look like? What did Agent 3 look like? And no, it's not Commander Tartar. I'm gonna get to that character later. But you probably don't know that unless you played the Octo expansion, which I did. And near the end of the campaign, when you collect all those things, he basically opens up his back, and he basically, I don't know what he does. He opens up his back, and he basically collects the four things. And this is a spoiler alert for you. It turns into a blender, and Agent A and Captain Cuttlefish don't actually know it's a blender. They step in, and it starts running. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, it's a blender. And basically, Commander Tartar tells you he's gonna make you into a goo. But then at the very last second, this is also a spoiler, Agent 3 bursts out from one of the top windows, which I have to ask, how does he do that? He or she, I actually chose he. If you actually watch my other gameplays, you would actually know. If you watch my very first Splatoon gameplay, you would know that it's a he, and I chose a he. Basically, he busts through the window and just smacks someone in the face, and probably giving him a grade A concussion if he was an actual human. And basically, near the end of the campaign, like at the end, basically, Commander Tartar, like the telephone turns into Commander Tartar. Like goo, it like swallows him up, and he like can't move. Like I'm pretty sure he's being commanded. I'm pretty sure the telephone was actually good until Commander Tartar took over. And yeah, they actually, this basically, Commander Tartar rises out of the water with this huge statue. And another spoiler, the statue that you see is actually not any other statue. It's actually the Statue of Liberty. Like, it's just beaten up and crumpled up. And I guess humans turned this into a war machine because it has a giant gun attached to it that's going to shoot and destroy not only Inkopolis, but the whole Earth. Yup, he's going to destroy the whole Earth with this big gun that's filled with sanitized goo. Yup, he's going to destroy the world. So, you're Agent 8 going around destroying bombs that he laid on the statue. They tried to blow him up, and they blow up with pink ink. And they're almost like it's like a mix of pink and magenta. So yeah, you go around blowing them up, and yeah, Commander Tartar, it gets weaker. And you blow them all up, and then Marina says, like, once you blow them all up in the amount of time, because yeah, you are timed, that means you can't do this forever, what you basically do is that Marina tells you it's still gonna fire anyway, but then Pearl jumps down and basically just pulls out this massive killer whale. I guess she had a special because she was charging up. Yep, she was actually charging up. She was singing while that was actually happening. And she pulls out this massive killer whale with a crown on it. Killer whale, which is well, if you actually get that reference. Yeah, the reference to the killer whale with a crown on it. It's a bigger version of it. The killer whale's from the original Splatoon. It shoots out, and basically Commander Tartar fires his weapon. Pearl yells into the flippin' killer whale, and they conjoin together. And they basically conjoin together. And then at the final piece of the campaign, it shoots out, and they finally destroy Captain Tartar and the statue along with it. And Captain Tartar just goes. I promise you're gonna see a gameplay of all 80 flipping parts. So yeah, Commander Tartar, I don't really know how to put him in. I'm gonna put him in probably an A tier. Yep, solid A. Not you. Okay. Merch. Okay. So merch is actually a really, well, he's not my favorite design, but he's actually really useful. Merch is basically the Splatoon 2 equivalent of Spike, which you'll hear about later. And basically, he's basically the Splatoon 2 equivalent of Spike. And basically what he does for you is that, wait, what does he do? Okay, so what he does is, you can get Splatnet orders, you can order clothes. There's a lot of other options I can't remember right now, but I'll probably remember later. Basically, he can give you any gear, well, except the ones that can be earned. Like the hero runners, the hero jacket, those can't be bought. They have to be earned. You can't buy them. They have to be earned. So yeah, what happens is that when you actually order something off of a character, wait for that, if you go close enough, a bubble will show up, and basically you have to press A, and then you basically press Y, and then it brings you to his or her stuff, depending on what gender it is. Basically, some of them can't be bought, because one time I saw someone with the hero jacket, the hero runners, and the hero headset, and I couldn't buy any of it. But the ones that can be bought is the ones that can be bought. The ones that can be bought are the ones that can be bought inside of the stores. Yep. So, and then when you have to wait until 12 o'clock tomorrow, unless Unless you're a kid that waits until 11:30 and then waits 30 minutes later until 12 o'clock and then goes to merch and just buys it. But it costs money. So yeah, you can't get it for free. Also, it has the exact same like upgrades. So yeah, that's a thing. I'm gonna put merch at C. DJ Octavio. Okay. No argument here. Mr. Grizz. Okay. So, matter of fact, I am gonna flippin' tell you why he's in S tier. So basically, I'm gonna explain why DJ Octavio is in S tier. Basically, DJ Octavio was the final boss in Splatoon 1. And you had to basically fight him by going through this massive rampage. He shoots his fists, missiles, killer whales, a pineapple which you have to deflect back at him, and he shoots octo balls that spawn out Octarians. And basically, let me explain the Octarians that spawn out. In round 2, which is the first time we see it, they shoot out octocopters and octobombers. And this is really difficult because you'll be focusing on everything else that you'll even forget that they can spawn octobombers and octocopters. You'll be focused on everything else that you won't even remember they're there. Like, if you pass them, you won't even remember they're there. And they do have a large range. And, yeah. So, yeah. Basically, you go, the third round, which is the second time we see it, it shoots out octoballs. And what you have to do, they roll really fast. And what you have to do here is lay down some ink, but you have to be careful because DJ Octavio can still shoot killer whales out, which I really had not prepared for that. You'll be so focused on the octoballs that you won't even remember that he can even shoot his killer whale. So yeah, that is really difficult to deal with, and I died a few times to it before I filmed that video. So yeah, basically, yeah. And then in the final round, basically what happens is that he will shoot out a Twinsicle Octarian, which has a rapid fire, and therefore easy to defeat. So yeah, DJ Octavio, I hate that the things that they approach with. So basically, in the first round, the pineapple is easy to deflect, like it goes like normal speed. In the second one, it's a little bit hard to deflect, like you have those little stands, like at least you can stand on it to like deflect it. And yeah, so you can also do that. And basically, yeah, this is really annoying. Like, when DJ Octavio shoots out the pineapple in the second round, he actually shoots a killer whale, so you'll have to actually get off. So actually have to move. Like, if you're on a stand, that's really annoying because the killer whale has a massive range. It's also very wide and really tall. And also really powerful. Also, I found my armor breaking pretty often due to that one part. The pineapple is obviously one of the hardest things to hit because in the second round. Basically, in the next phase, obviously I can't remember now. Obviously, like, you know, killer whales, deflectant, like you can obviously deflect the pineapple. That one's pretty easy. And the next time we see the pineapple, basically it shoots out, but you have this little bubble that you can blow up. And I saw the little bubble being really useful as I used it to deflect it. But here's the thing, it goes extremely fast. Like, almost, like, impossible to react to. Like, you'll be so focused on the, bubbles that can explode that you won't even have enough time to blow them up. And it goes so fast that it won't be able to blow up in time, and you'll just your armor will just break. If you have it, or else you'll just die. Because the impact is so strong, it could basically just destroy you. I'm sorry for that internet. For that thing. Okay, so, yeah. And in the final round, there you have these little, like, platforms that you could, like, walk back and forth on. And, yeah, it's extremely hard. And basically, the killer whales, they shoot out almost indefinitely. Like, the octoballs that shoot out tentacle octarians, they will all gang up on you. Like, it's really hard. They'll all gang up on you. Like, they're all flipping. You won't even remember they're there. Because you'll be so focused on everything else. Including, like, the pineapple, the missiles, the killer whale, and the pineapple, which you won't even remember can even shoot out. That you still have to remember that. So it shoots out, and basically, when you deflect them all, and let me tell you, the final one that you have to deflect in the final round is the hardest. The hardest one. It's the hardest one to do. And Dietrich Octavio is obviously one of the hardest video game bosses in all of gaming. Also, it's been ranked the hardest boss in any Splatoon game. And I do mean any Splatoon game. It's really hard. All because of that final part. It's extremely hard. It's almost harder than anything you've ever done in the game. But at the end of the fight, when you finally deflect that pineapple for the last final time, you will go back. DJ Octavio will fly at your screen. And you'll have to deflect them back, and basically the DJ Octavio Nader DJ booth set that he has will basically spontaneously combust, and you have done it, and it will blow up. And if you already played it, like if you already beat the boss, you basically just get a zapfish. But if you actually get to the end, like when you first defeat the boss, like basically, intercom will come on, and you have finally saved Incopolis. The intercom with Callie and Marie will go on saying that you have saved Incopolis, and the Great Zapfish is back. And they don't actually mention you, even though, well, Agent 1 and Agent 2 with Callie and Marie. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that's basically DJ Octavio for the first game. It's extremely difficult, but sadly I can't say the same about the Splatoon 2. So basically, it's a lot easier. He loses almost all of his weapons. Basically, the only weapons he has, he doesn't even shoot out his missiles, which were really, really hard. He doesn't shoot out his Octarians. He doesn't shoot the pineapple, which really made me mad. Because a lot of people were mad that they couldn't play tennis with DJ Octavio. And basically, all you do is shoot back his fists. Of course, yeah, it shoots out suction bombs. It shoots out burst, it shoots out suction bombs, shoots out calamar things that just twist up. He moves fast, yeah, he goes high. But it's literally you deflecting his fists. Like, it's not. And here's the thing that really makes me mad. He's easy to knock down. You have to knock him down literally 3 times. One time you knock him down. The second time you knock him down. The third one, Kyle and Marie team up, and basically Sheldon lends you the Rainmaker. Blah blah. You get on guardrails. You flippin', and this is the thing that really makes me mad. You literally just have to fire the Rainmaker at his fists, and you have to do it almost 16 times. Yup. And I'm doing a video about this. I'm ranking them after I finish filming Splatoon 2. And I'll show you. And I'm ranking them. Yup. I'm just going to show you how ridiculous it is. Oh, I also forgot to mention that that flipping shower that dashes across. But that's also easy to avoid. You'll almost never bump into it because your reaction time is so precise. And you will literally see it coming. It's so slow. It's flipping so slow that you will be able to dodge it. And yeah, when you finally defeat him, you know, his ship spontaneously combusts again. You know, it spontaneously combusts one more time. And it blows up, and once again, if you defeat the boss once and you finally defeat him again, of course you do get a Zapfish again. But if you defeat him for the very first time, Pearl and Marina will go on the intercom, and you'll hear more about Pearl and Marina later. They go on the intercom, and yeah, they'll tell you that you saved and got this from greater doom. Yeah, even though all of the mishaps in the second fight, I will still put him at an S tier. Splatoon 1 fight, you'll always have a special place in my heart. Mr. Grizz, okay. So, Mr. Grizz doesn't really do anything. Like, you literally just go on a campaign and you literally just destroy them all. You basically just destroy Chums, Chahokes. You basically just fight them all. You fight Chums, Chahokes, Small Fries, Steelheads, Steel Eels, Stingers, and whatnot. So yeah, you basically collect these eggs, which is really difficult when you have to get Overachiever and Professional, because they're really hard because all those Chums, Chahokes will come at you. Wait, this isn't your part, this is Mr. Grizz. We're not talking about you. Okay, you're next. We're not talking about you yet. Okay, so yeah, Mr. Grizz doesn't really serve much of a role, other than to just be there, to tell you to do stuff. Also, he organizes your stuff, like, yeah. So, just the first D tier I'm ever gonna put. The Salmonids. Now, yeah, you know when I said that I was gonna put them next? Yep, we're going to them. Wait a second, let me just swap out the music. No, that doesn't work. So, yeah. We're going to go to Salmonids. So, basically, we're going to talk about everyone, one for one. So, basically, what we're going to go first is the Chum. The Chum, it basically charges at you with a frying pan. It will just swat at you. It's easy to defeat. Next, we'll go to the Chahoke. It's a lot bigger than the Chum, and it's a lot harder to defeat. It's just a tad bit harder. That's the thing. A tad bit harder. Even though it's big, it takes a few hits to kill. So yeah. The Chahoke is not really a challenge. Next we have Small Fry. Okay, Small Fry, he's really, really hard to deal with. Because they're fast, and the Griller also spawns them out. We'll talk about the Griller later. It spawns them out, and it's really hard to defeat. Also, for their small size, they're not really that easy to notice. Yep. So yeah, next we're gonna go to the what was it again? Snatcher. Okay, so Snatcher is what you would think. It snatches your eggs. So basically, it's really hard. Like if you get splatted and you're right next to a nest of eggs. And you are right next to 3 eggs, which is basically all that the boss salmonids spawn out. They are basically, you'll have to watch them, and you'll basically just have to yell help. No, not actually yell help. You'll actually have to continuously press help, and just hope someone actually notices and actually tries to get you back. And then you can finally defeat them. And the only upside to it is that, the only upside to the Snatcher is that it's easy to defeat. And it's not even, like, that hard to defeat. I think it's one of the easiest ones to defeat. Like, second to the Small Fry. And, yeah. They're really annoying. And here's the one thing. They only have 2 arms, but he can grab the 3rd egg with its mouth. And yeah, we're done with all the normal Salmonids. Now we're going into the boss, the big boys. The dang boy, he's thick. Basically, basically we have the biggest one, which is the steelhead. The steelheads are really annoying to deal with because they will shoot stuff out of their heads, like the bombs. They will shoot it out of their heads continuously, simultaneously, and you just have to work together to defeat him. Also, this is super easy if you have an E-liter scope or a Swiffer. It's extremely easy as they are a one-hit kill with the Swiffer or the E-liter scope. They're extremely easy with that, and basically, if you actually manage to actually defeat it, which is extremely hard, if you actually also it's extremely hard and professional because the steelhead will it'll just destroy you if there's many in the area. Because if there's 4 or 5 in the area, you're basically dead. Like, there's no way to kill them if there's like 4, 5, or even 3 in the area. You're basically dead if some of them actually get to you. So yeah, you're basically dead if they actually do get to you. And if you're in a corner and you're the only one left, yep, you're also dead. And yeah, next we have the steel eel, which is also an extremely hard one. We have the long boy. Next we have long boy, steel eel. Basically, what happens with the steel eel, which is my favorite salmonid, my favorite boss, my favorite normal salmonid, the Chahok, just because it's a big boy. And yeah, steel eel, basically, its whole body is impenetrable, just like the steelhead, like I forgot to mention. Basically, oh gosh darn it. Basically, what happens is that, I'm at a loss for words. Okay, so the steel eel, the whole body is uninkable. Like, out of the water, like, if you try to ink its body, like, it doesn't do anything. And, like, it looks like there's, like, octo showers, not octo showers. I forgot what it's called. The one with the, whatchamacallit attached to it. The one with, like, that. Okay, so we're talking about the griller later. It's like the griller, but, like, it's the head, and it can shoot out. Basically, it's a head, and the whole body components, the rest of its body at least, is uninkable. And it will have, like, these little striders down it. Remember the sprinklers that you used to have when you were a kid? Yeah, that's basically down it, but it's much more deadly. And yeah, basically what happens is that you can't go through it, like, you can't walk past it, but it's also really fast. And if you're in a corner, like, if you're near, like, Rated Mel, right next to some water, it can bump you off, and you'll bump into the water, and another teammate will have to save you. So yeah, and at the very back, at the very back, there's a salmonid in a Corona mask. That is the main target you have to hit. Then when you defeat it, it will pop, and the whole entire segment will spontaneously combust. They will fall apart, and the eggs will be shown, just like with the steel eel. And just with, like, the steelhead, like, if you actually destroy it, from the head, it will also spawn 3 eggs. Next one that I want to talk about is fly fish. Boy, do I have a lot to say about fly fish. Basically, it looks like a small fry, but it's attached to a, it looks like a small fry, but it's inside of this mech suit. That it's also flying. Okay, wait a second. Wait one second. I just have to look up the, I just have to look up something. So, I'm not actually going to talk about him first. I'm actually going to talk about Goldie next. Okay, so Goldie, like, he's really hard to defeat. He is extremely hard to defeat. Like, he's fast. Especially with Rush, where every salmonid wait, I'm not going to talk about that yet. That's going to be for later. So yeah, I'm actually not going to talk about that right now. So basically, what's happening is that Goldie is really hard to defeat. It's really hard to actually splat. It also has a pan just like the rest of them, like the rest of the regular ones. Goldie, like, it's also really useful if you actually defeat it. It will spawn out either 1, 3, or near 16 salmonid eggs. You're going to, and the good thing with this is that they're easy to find. They're really hard to find, and you are going to fight a lot of these guys, and they all really spawn out a lot of stuff. You are going to find a lot of them, and they are all really useful. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you're going to fight a lot of them, and they're really, really useful if you actually get to destroy one of them. So, wait. Wait a second. Wait 1 second. Wait, let's see. We're gonna have to. Wait 1 second. Okay. Wait 1 second. Okay, wait 1 second, guys. I just have to do something. Wait 1 second. Okay, flyfish. Okay, we're gonna talk about flyfish. Okay, so flyfish, he is also really hard to deal with. Okay, so he's attached to a mech suit. It looks like a small fry, but he's attached to a mech suit. And also, what you have to do is, this will solve all my problems. I just have to search up some. Okay, so let's just see something. Wait 1 second. Okay, so what we have next is flyfish. Okay, so we're gonna talk about flyfish. Flyfish is he's really hard to deal with. Flyfish is he's basically a small fry, but he's attached to like a gun. But there's two missiles that can only explain as being a tensor missile. Small fries are also really hard to deal with, but if they have a mech suit, it's flying in the air, so it's also really hard to hit. And also the tensor missiles, like the tensor missile weapons, it'll open up and reveal some tensor missiles. It will shoot at least like what 30 or so, and it will actually shoot up, and it will hit you if it's actually in your sights. Not to say if it will actually hit every player. But you might be asking, Larry, is it impossible to defeat? You're wrong. Well, what's happening is that what you gotta do is that you have to throw 2 ink bombs in each of its. Basically, you have to throw 1 bomb in its tensor missile weapon. If you throw 1 bomb in it, if you're lucky, that's the thing. If you're lucky, you have to aim it in, and if it actually hits it, and if you actually make it in, it will actually explode it, and it will actually go falling down. It will actually get destroyed. Same thing with the other one. And then it will spawn 3x just like the rest of them. So yeah, the next one I want to talk about is Moz. Moz is also, he's also really easy to deal with. The easiest boss, actually. He's not actually that hard. He's really easy, but just like the thing with Moz is that he's really easy to defeat. Basically, what happens is that he has a lure, and if you're actually close enough and you actually are unlucky enough to stop in his trail, which is really wide as well, he will actually open up his mouth and eat you. But he's also really hard. Well, there's actually 2 ways of defeating this guy. You can either throw a bomb in his mouth and he'll just eat it and he'll just explode. That's the easiest way. But the second way of defeating him is much more harder. Basically, what you gotta do, if you don't want to use your bombs, if you actually care about your organs, if you actually care about your ink, you can basically just ink his whole body until it actually explodes. And there's nothing to worry. There's nothing to worry about. His whole body does not actually regen health. So yeah, shoot till your heart's content until he explodes. So yeah, really easy to defeat. Also, here's an upside. He can't go on graded metal, so yeah. Can't go on graded metal if it's actually above land. So yeah, that's another upside. Imagine if there was just one Moz and none of the other salmon did show up. Like no other modes. Like it was just a Moz. Like all the team would have to do was just stand on graded metal. He would not be able to get it. Well, no, you wouldn't be able to do that because there would pretty much be a limited amount of eggs that you would have to get. So that would not really work. So there's no winning in this. Next one I want to talk about is Stinger. Stinger I want to talk about is really annoying because they're easy to forget about. Basically, Stinger is exactly what you would think. It's basically a salmonid that's attached to a set of pans and pots. And what you gotta do is that you have to shoot those pans and pots down until he completely falls down. And you don't have to worry, you don't have to shoot the head because you'll never hit the head whatsoever. And yeah, what you have to do is defeat them all. But if you have a ink jet, you can easily just cheat your way and just shoot at him. He'll just be dead. And Stinger, he also has a wide range, which is basically unlimited range. And another thing with that is he is also really easy to defeat. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is Drizzler. Drizzler is also really easy boss because Drizzler, he will basically just show up with an umbrella. Like, the first time I saw him, wanna know what I said? I said, "He very poppin', y'all," because he flies through the air. Like, basically what he'll do is he'll shoot a missile that will pop out and shoot up into the air. It's basically the human equivalent of an ink storm. It's basically the salmonid equivalent of an ink storm. So yeah, he'll shoot it up, do a missile, and it will actually go up, and it will actually explode and open up a ink storm. Basically, the second thing that you can do is that the happiest thing you can do is that you can deflect the missile back, and if you're lucky, it'll actually land on him. So yeah, if you're lucky, like that's the thing. If you're lucky, it'll actually land on him and he will die. Which is basically never gonna happen because he flips down way too fast underneath the umbrella. And if you don't actually deflect them, he actually shoots them 2 times before jumping up and shooting somewhere else. But here's another thing. Here's another way to defeat. Also, there's another way to defeat this guy. The first one I just told you, that was you deflecting it at him. Another thing is that when he jumps in the air, his whole body isn't covered. That means if you're underneath him when he jumps up, you can easily just shoot him. And if you have an E-liter scope, you can easily just kill him in one hit. And another one, if he actually flips up and he's actually laying down on it, which he'll always do whenever he shoots a missile, you will always, if you shoot it, it will always, if he shoots it, which is also the easiest way to defeat him, if he actually flips over, you can actually shoot him and he will die. If you shoot him enough, he'll actually die. And another thing with salmonids, they don't regain health. Okay, the next one I want to talk about, which is the final regular one, is Scrapper. Scrapper, he's basically a salmonid that made a vehicle, and basically he will charge at you, and he will bump into you, which can also cause damage. If he bumps into you enough times, you will splat, and another crewmate will have to save you again. So yeah, there's another way of defeating this guy. The only way to defeat this guy, well, there's actually 2 ways you can defeat him. One way that you can defeat him is you can destroy his machine by shooting at it until it actually pops. Basically what you can do, wait, what? Okay, so you could shoot. So you could shoot his machine until it just gets destroyed. And then, basically, okay, you can shoot it until it breaks down. Then you'll have to loop around, or another crewmate will have to go loop around and shoot him like that. But if you're thinking of actually going behind him whilst another crewmate gets chased, he'll just turn around when you actually shoot him. So yeah, there's no winning there. And yeah. So another way of defeating him is the Stinger. Basically, if you have a Stinger equipped, you can easily just shoot him. Like, you can just shoot him straight, and he'll just get splatted. So yeah, that's all I want to say for Scrapper. Next one is the second most annoying one. Griller. Now, basically with Griller is that it's really hard. You know how I would talk about Griller later? Well, this is the time I'm actually going to talk about him. Now, Griller is, well, it is a really hard boss. Like, what you have to do is that, basically, what's happening is that there's a laser, it points at you. Well, it can't actually destroy you. It's a laser pointer, it points at you, and if you're unlucky enough to get caught in its laser's path, if it's actually aiming at you, the Griller will go up to you and try to destroy you. And it's basically just running around like a headless chicken. And you basically have to run around. And here's another thing. You can go in water and basically just go to another place on the map and just basically catch you. And here's another thing. It's extremely fast. If you're actually not swimming in the ink, it can easily catch up to you. And yeah, it's easily one of the hardest ones to defeat. And yeah, what you gotta do is that, you're gonna be saying, how do I kill one of them? Basically, what you gotta do is that if you have to, basically, what's happening is that you have to wait until one of them is getting chased. One of your crewmates is getting chased, then you have to shoot the tail until it spins around and 4 tails will show up. And then you have to go through the enjoyable process of shooting it down, of actually destroying it. And it actually spawns out 5 salmon eggs when it actually gets destroyed. basically, it's really hard to defeat. Also, did I notice that did I say that the small fry also spawns out of him, which makes it much harder to actually defeat him, and also it leaves a trail of green sludge wherever it goes, like with its shower that's shooting down. Okay, so yeah, that's also now I want to talk about. So that's Griller. So yeah, the one that is the most annoying, the most hardest. Salmonid. Don't worry, after this we're done with the Salmonid. After this, we're done. Here's the hardest one to deal with. The mothership. Now the mothership is extremely hard to deal with. There are going to be Salmonids that are attached to a copper chopper, and they will lay down these boxes that will either spawn out salmonids, and if that will spawn out salmonids, and you have to destroy them. But don't worry, here's another thing: you can pop them while in midair, and they'll just spawn out an egg because they're technically the equivalent of a boss. So yeah, it's basically a prize. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about for the ones that fly. But when the mothership actually goes in for the kill. Basically, it will try to steal your eggs. The mothership will not actually try to attack you. It will just try to steal your eggs. And you have to go through the enjoyable process of trying to pop it. Of trying to, send it away. So basically, the easiest way to do this is not with your weapon. If you have basically, the E-liter scope, splatter scope, or any type of scoped weapon, it can easily be used, and you can easily shoot it out. And yeah, it's really hard to defeat with it. But if you have an inkjet, it is also really easy to defeat. And if you have a stinger, you can easily defeat it by shooting at it. And you have to defeat this you have to do this 3 times until it actually backs off and slimes into the ocean. Jeez, that was a long one. Okay, so out of all of them, I want to put them at A. Yeah, I want to put them at A. The next one I want to talk about is Sheldon. Now, Sheldon is the main weapons guy. I am Sheldon, and these are my weapon. I hope that did that for you, Kylie. So yeah, Sheldon. He's really useful. So yeah, he is extremely useful, actually. He will lend you guns. Like, if you're high level enough, he'll give you guns. Well, if you actually level up, he'll give you more guns. And also, on Christmas, when I first got Splatoon 2 on my Nintendo Switch, when my dad first saw Sheldon, I said, "Yeah, it's Sheldon." Then my dad said, "No, it's not." And I was saying, "What are you talking about? It's Sheldon. It's a hermit crab." Then he said, "No, it's not." I was talking about, "What is it then?" Then my dad responded with a minion. He really doesn't know what Splatoon is. So yeah. Sheldon is the main weapons guy. He will give you a lot of stuff. Like, mostly for the Kenshin Splash Shot Pro, which is one of my favorite guns. Yeah, it costs a lot, but it will cost you a lot, and I do mean a lot. Mostly spanning from 300,000 coins, which is really hard. And yeah, that's basically Sheldon for you. Also, he actually helps you. Also, Sheldon is the most consistent out of any Splatoon character. That's how useful he is. He's the most consistent character out of any Splatoon character. He's the most consistent, no matter what. Yup. He's the most consistent. Also, he gives you the weapons. So, yeah, I'm gonna put him up with DJ Octavio. Next is Bisque. Okay, I don't really like Bisque. Mostly his design. Okay, I'm just gonna put this here so we'll be actually all set to go. We're all set. I might as well just do that too. Okay, Bisque. Okay, now I actually do miss the old guy that sold shoes, which is actually Krusty Sean. I feel sad that they actually replaced him with a Japanese. I'm really sad that they replaced him. They replaced the tiger prow with a Japanese spider crab that wears shoes. He has many legs to try on the shoes. Yep. And yeah, he is actually your main shoe guy in Splatoon 2. Which I don't actually prefer him over Krusty Sean, which we'll talk about him later. So yeah, Bisque, yeah, I don't really have a category for him. Okay, so probably gonna put him in C tier. Pearl, okay. Now I mean, she's not my favorite character, but I mean, Pearl is, let's just say she's more into she's more into adventure than being a news reporter. Well, she's also a news reporter, but in the Octo expansion, which I am going to talk about because her news reporter job is pretty much useless. Basically on the intercom, like Pearl, like in the Octo expansion, she's on the phone, and basically Pearl gets money from her dad. What? I'm really sad that she has to borrow money from her dad. Because, well, your dad, but this job doesn't pay you. That's actually really sad that the job doesn't really pay her instead of her dad. Also, she says, I'm going to borrow some of my dad's money, but you can never pay him back. But that just, it's not right. You can return the favor, but if you actually don't return the favor, you can just, well, not fight the secret final boss that I'm not going to reveal because I don't want to spoil all of the game. And Pearl, yeah. Pearl, I really do like her. Like, I don't really like her, but I actually told Kylie this. That she's actually number 4, which is the lowest score for my favorite flippin' news reporters. Like, out of the Squid Sisters and Off the Hook, I feel like the Squid Sisters are better. Squid Sisters are better, okay? You can't beat them. I don't care if there's any other, like if there's a band that's actually boys, if they actually do that. Splatoon 2. Splatoon 3, I mean. Or Splatoon 4, Splatoon 16. I'm pretty sure there's never going to be a male, flippin' reporter. Until, like, flippin' Toy Story 17 comes out. Okay, so, Pearl, I mean, she's not my favorite, but she's really useful in the Octo expansion. Like, she gives you 3,000 CQ points. Also, Pearl, I like her because, I don't actually like her. Pearl, at the end of the expansion, she shows to be very, very useful. She's the one that destroys DJ Octavio. Not DJ Octavio. I forgot what it was called. Commander Tartar. Okay, so she's the one that destroys Commander Tartar in the final battle as she shoots Killer Whale, which I already explained for Commander Tartar. I'm not explaining that again. So, yeah, I actually do like it. So, yeah. I'm probably going to put her in a solid B tier. Marina. Now, I'm sorry to do this to you, Marina, but I'm going to have to put her in D tier. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry, okay? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the reason why I'm not going to put her in flippin' B tier with flippin', not B tier, yeah, B tier. I'm not going to put her in B tier because, well, I don't really find this character appealing. Marina, yeah, I don't really find her appealing at all. Like, she doesn't really do anything in the Octo expansion. Like, I don't really get it. Like, she doesn't do anything in the Octo expansion besides just add on to the story. She doesn't flippin' do anything besides being a news reporter and flippin' doing stuff in the Splatfest. She just is not a complex character, you know? I just don't. She's not just interesting in my eyes. She doesn't really do anything. Sorry to do this to you, Marina. Listen, okay, I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get some hate. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. What? I might as well just put them all in the same category. Okay, so next is Callie. So Callie is obviously some of the most complex characters I've ever seen. She's my favorite character in Splatoon, but I'm not gonna put her in. But I'm entitled to my own. I'm not entitled to my own opinions. Obviously, because it feels like I'm being controlled everywhere I go. Yep, I'm still remembering that comment that I saw. Yep, I know. You know who you are. That video on my Portal 3 trailer. Yep, and you know who you are, okay? You know who you are. Alright? You know who you are. Okay, so Callie. Callie is, well, let's just say she's Agent 1. She's Agent 1 because for a reason. Well, I guess she's a really interesting character to the fans. I guess that's why she's Agent 1. Or Nintendo just made her Agent 1 to make Marie just Agent 2. Okay. So, yeah, Callie is a really complex character. Because, well, yeah, Callie, she did get brainwashed in Splatoon 2 as, like, working with DJ Octavio. Yep. She was brainwashed, and she was working for DJ Octavio. So, yeah. I don't know what she was doing with DJ Octavio. So, yeah. Basically... Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Callie is a really interesting character. As she is one of the most interesting characters in all of Splatoon. Even though she lost the Splatfest to Marie, she will always have a special place in my heart, and I love her. More than Marie. Yep. Even Marie is not my favorite character. I would have to say she's my 16th favorite character. Yeah, she got brainwashed in Splatoon 2, but don't worry. Marie came out and she shot her with the low ink tide. And she regained her memories and joined Marie to sing the new version of the Calamari Incantation called the Spicy Calamari Incantation. And we finally defeat DJ Octavio, which I'm not going to explain again. Yep, go to that part of the video. So, yeah. I'm probably going to put her in, well, not C. I'm going to put her in A tier. Marie. I was just talking about you. So, Marie, I don't know why she won the Splatfest, because obviously Callie is, well, superior in every way. Yep. She is basically superior in every way to her. And, yeah, Marie, she is really not that appealing. To me, at least. And she was also the person that helped you in the main camp, in the second campaign of Splatoon. And she told you that you had to save Callie from an evil force called DJ Octavio. So yeah, I think this video is gonna go for an hour long. So yeah, I think this video is gonna go for an hour long. If this is gonna be an hour long video, hashtag longest Larry 101 video. ever. It just reached 1 hour. Okay, so yeah, Marie, she's not my favorite design, but she does not like to be kidnapped. Also, I heard in the Splatoon manga, she is even more interesting than Callie, which I absolutely despise. And also, I just really want to fail to get done. Marie, she might be the second Squid sister, but to me, she'll always be number 2 in my eyes. Marie is obviously one of the best Splatoon characters, so yeah, she obviously deserves a solid A tier. Agent 8 male. Now I'm probably gonna put them in the same category, but Agent 8, both of them, they have gone through a lot. This is harder than anything that Agent 3 and Agent 4 had to go through. This is harder than anything they had to go through. Like they had to dodge flipping bullets. They had to do missions. They had to remake a crate into a dog. They had to remake some crates, which is really hard, into whatever that is. They had to fight. I'm not going to spoil it. They had to fight Agent 3. They had to defeat DJ Octavio. No, not DJ Octavio. They had to fight the Octo Shower, Sanitize Octo Shower. I don't care what its name is. I'm just gonna call it Sanitize Octo Shower. And it's also really hard. And it was also really hard for the level girl power, because let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy in the slice bit. It's not easy, as you have to fight almost 8 Octarians. Also, you have to fight 3 Seaweed Octarians. Not Octarians. You have to fight 3 Octolings. You have to fight 3 Sanitized Octolings. They had to fight one. They had to fight Okay, let me rephrase that. They had to fight a few Octolings, which is for all I know, I just want to get done. They had to fight some Octolings with basically any weapon. Well, not any weapon, but you had to protect the flipping base for like 1 minute and 30 seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds doesn't seem long, but boy, let me tell you, when you finish that mission, it is worth it, okay? Girl power is absolutely one of the hardest missions in the whole campaign. Yep, and I will not remember that as the one that broke me. Well, I didn't record it yet, but I will, don't worry. Okay, so just for their hard work, their cunning, their speed, I love you. So I'll have to put you both in A tier. Next is the Octoling. The Octoling was one of the hardest enemies to fight when you first met them, as some of them can gang up on you in large groups, and there's basically nothing you can do to defeat them. Okay, for this version of the Octoling, I'm talking about the original version. Yep, the one with the goggles. The one with the goggles instead of the glasses. Yep, I'm talking about that one. They were extremely hard in that game, as they were really hard, as they were one of the hardest obstacles you had to overcome. And yeah, they served as a hard obstacle, as a roadblock that you would have to surpass. They have speed, they're cunning, and yep, they attack in groups. And there's also the seaweed versions, which are just harder to kill. So yeah, that's all I have on the Octoling, the original. I'm gonna put that one in B tier. Why not? Captain Cuttlefish. Okay, now Captain Cuttlefish obviously got kidnapped in the first Splatoon, as he was absolutely useless, as he was an old man, just living the white American dream with that shack. I'm not even sure if that's his house. Probably like a shack or somewhere he could just play. As I saw, it was a shed. It's almost a shed. Okay, we're getting sidetracked here. Okay, Captain Cuttlefish. Captain Cuttlefish is one of my most favorite characters. Captain Cuttlefish has always been there. When times were rough, I just went to him, tapped on him, and he would just make my day. And yeah. Captain Cuttlefish, some people say, like, some people think that not D-Jock some people say that Captain Cuttlefish is Agent 7, as there is no Agent 7 so far, but Captain Cuttlefish would be pretty much 0. He's the main OG, he's the original number 1, which is basically Callie. He is original number 1, no matter what. And who? Like, I heard some people say Sheldon, CQ. So I heard some people say that, but I never believe any of those theories. Okay. No, I might as well just put them in the same category. Okay. So yeah, Captain Cuttlefish. He's really also in the Octo expansion. He's even better in the Octo expansion. As you want to pay off your debt, you just go to him and you just transfer some of your money that you earn. And also, you can't speak to him in normal terms until you paid off all your debt, which really made me mad when I first found it. So yeah, Captain Cuttlefish. I was really sad, like we would have to pay off our debts until we had to talk to him, like until we had to press A. All we had to do was pay off our debts, which I'm trying to do right now. So yeah. Captain Cuttlefish. Also, he's the one that is the cheerman in the final battle. So yeah, I'm gonna put him at a solid. Wait, not solid C. Solid A tier. Wait, where the heck did he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, he just went somewhere else. Okay, so next we have Annie and Mo. Annie and Mo are, well, Anemone. Well, Anemone. Anemone is, well, they were the original headgear people in the original Splatoon. As Annie was kind and hearted, Mo was bloodlust and cunning. As Annie would just say, "Hello, welcome to the shop. Pick out what you want." Mo was just like, "Give me all your cash." Yep, that's basically Mo. And then, but if you had no internet, Mo would just say, "Scram!" And Annie would just say, "Sorry, I can't help you until you get any cash." It's sad that Annie is so pleasant while Mo is so flipping aggressive. This clownfish is flipping sadistic. So yeah, this for Mo. Well, Mo is unkind. Annie could be just more kind-hearted. So I'm gonna put Annie at a B. Krusty Sean. Now, either we're talking about the original or either the ones we're talking about that sell shoes or the ones that is a food from a seller. Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the original OG. So the OG Krusty Sean is actually really nice. I like him. He's awesome. I love him. Everyone loves him actually. And they are really mad that he was degraded he was downgraded to a food salesman. And yeah, some people were sad that he was downgraded to a food salesman in the second Splatoon. But in the second Splatoon, he was actually really useful as he could sell these specials, but you would need a ticket which you can only gain from Grezco if you're lucky. That's the thing, if you're lucky. And if you're lucky to get that huge flippin' meatball sub thing that has money on it, trust me, you're a really lucky man. Or woman. I don't know. Where are your parents? Okay, so if we're talking about the first one, he'd be really useful as he sells you a lot of stuff. Yep. He is really useful, and in his own right, he's awesome. So I'm gonna give him a solid B tier. I like how the top of his head cut off. Okay, Jalonzo. Okay, so we have the original OG shirt salesman. So you have the original OG shirt salesman. I hear Jalonzo is also one of the best. He's one of the best ones. He's kind-hearted, and he is the best. And he is also, I heard that he's a massive icon in Splatoon universe, as people have been asking for his autographs, and he is a huge icon, and how people love him, and people wish to meet him. So yeah, he's an original shirt salesman, as he is really nice. He had long arms. Well, he is really nice, and he actually just sells you what you want. But unlike spaghetti arms over here, he is actually really cool. Okay, so just for Jalonzo, I'm just gonna put him at a solid B tier. Let's put that down a little bit. Where did he go? It's just me messing around with the tier list. Okay, we're back in the game. I can't remember her name. Wait, I'm sorry for this, but I'll have to ruin your jam. Okay. I forgot her name. I mean, it's a good color though. Splatoon 2. Head salesman, but I got an idea. Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second, guys. I don't care about your life story. Wait, guys. Wait 1 second. Okay, so Flo and Craymond. Okay, so Flo and Craymond are now Flo, I don't know what she is. Flo, oh, she's actually really nice. While Craymond is just like, I mean, he's not like Mo, like he's not demanding. But Craymond, I mean, Flo is like Annie, like really calm. And well, Flo is really calm, and Craymond is calmer than, it's a little bit calmer than Mo. I would just say he's a little bit calmer than Mo. I would just say that. So yeah, they actually sell gear. They're really nice, but when you don't have enough money, they just laugh at you, saying that you might have a kind spirit, but we don't accept spirit here. They'll just laugh at you, which I'm really sad about. And I'm mad about it. We're gonna put her at solid C tier. Gelfonso, Noodle Arms. Okay, so Gelfonso, I don't know I mean, I know he's supposed to be a jellyfish, but he has them noodle arms. Mr. Noodle Arms over here is one of the best. He's the best. Noodle Arms will always be my favorite. Well, not my favorite like Gelfonso. Noodle Arms is obviously one of the best characters in the game. Well, not the best characters, but one of the best characters you get the most bang for your buck. And when you don't have enough money, he'll just be shocked. Oh yeah, as you mentioned, everything over here is just expensive, and I think that's just give you a grand mal gesture. But all of this stuff are really expensive. Like, if you don't have enough coins and you're not prepared, it's $800. It's just $800 for just a squid patterned waistcoat. Yep. It's just 800 coins for squid patterned waistcoat, and it's really sad that he just charges that much. He charged that much just for that. So we're gonna put old Noodle Arms at a C tier. Ice Slow Party. Now, I actually do like Ice Slow Party. He'll actually go up to S with DJ Octavio and Sheldon. But I'll explain why. Ice Slow Party, like, if you complete enough missions of one group, if you complete all missions for one group, for one snack, he will actually lend you a piece of gear, which can actually be really, really useful, as it can't be bought anywhere. If you want to know what I have on me right now, I'm about to just list that off. I'm about to list that off right now. What I have on me right now is the Eye of Justice, no armor replica, and no boots replica. It's really smart. It's really cool. And the weapon I'm holding right now is the Kensha Dynamo Roller, which is another one of my favorite guns. I mean, it's another one of my favorite weapons. Ice Slow Party can basically give you the Conductor's Cap, which is also really, really useful. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put him at S tier, all because of just giving you gear that you wanted. Not the gear that you wanted, just gear that you can only exclusively get with the game. Well, let me tell you, if you buy the game, worth it. Next, we have Spike, the original OG clothes seller. Spike is obviously one of my favorites. Well, he's not as complex as Merch, but he's also really cool since, like, you can also order stuff at 11:30 So yeah, Spike. I really do like his design. Like he's just sitting down. Also, I think he just tore some from some um. Also, if you look on his mat, you see that there's some super sea snails on his tarp. So yeah, he is really useful as even though it's not the same upgrades. It's amazing that he can just get a lot. And yeah, he will if he can't get anything, like he'll just say like I didn't get exactly what you asked for, but this is the best I can do. I mean, he gets you exactly what you wanted, but it's just not the same upgrades. We're gonna put Spike at a beat here. Okay, so now we have Jellyfish. Okay, we don't really have anything to say about him other than he just sticks his arm out long. Also, Nico BBQ, you are incorrect. Those are not squid kids. Nope, you were incorrect. Those are not squid kids. Those are not baby squids. Those are just jellyfish. Nico BBQ, you were incorrect. So yeah, we're gonna put them at D tier. We haven't seen a D tier for a while. You know what? We're gonna put them above Marina. Okay, next we have the Octarians. Okay. Let me just list them off. Wait 1 second. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what type of Octarians there are. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to cover. Okay, so what we got first is the troops. We have what we have first is the Octo Troopers. They shoot out. They basically what they do is that they slowly go at you and they shoot out a ball of ink that cannot really be that lethal, but only takes 3 hits to kill you. That is if you heal. That is if you don't heal. It only takes like 5 hits to kill you. Correct me if I'm wrong. Probably like 3 hits. Next we have Shielded Octo Troopers. Shielded Octo Troopers are basically ones that are attacked but that are protected by a wall, and they're indestructible. But instead, unlike the second game where they're not indestructible and they could literally just be destroyed with the number of shots, which I was also mad about because I was really mad that they couldn't be destroyed because I enjoyed the tutorial. How like throw a bomb their way, they would actually just look at it and it would just be indestructible if you didn't do that. Next we have Octo Divers, which will basically be Octo Troopers submerged in ink, just like you when you're in squid form. They're really hard to see because if you're not careful, they will literally just pop up in front of you and they'll just destroy you. That is if they're lucky. That's the thing, if they're lucky. Okay, next is the Octo Sniper. Octo Snipers are so stupid to deal with. They are incredibly stupid to deal with. Like what you gotta do is that you have to hide behind some pillars or hide in your ink, hide behind a wall or something, and you have to go all the way around while he tries to shoot you with his scope. That's so annoying. And he also has a limited range. No, it's limited. Next we have Octo Snipe. Next we have Octo Strikers. Octo Strikers are Octo Strikers are the Octarian fighters that are main antagonists of the levels with the words flying object in the name. They appear in multiplayer maps that are flitted into Wait, okay, I can just explain what the Octo Strikers are. I can get a whole Wikipedia. So what Octo Strikers are is that the things that you saw in my gameplays that were really hard to deal with. Basically, the Octo Striker is basically the equivalent of an Ink Strike in the first game. They're lethal and they expand a long way. So yeah, that's basically what an Octo Striker is. They are also really hard to deal with, as they will fly anywhere and use your burst bombs wisely. You can literally just shoot it at them. And as you can just use burst bombs, you can literally just shoot stuff at it and it will just get destroyed. But it's also really hard to deal with because because they're really high above the sky, and they will even go really fast and dash across the map if you're not fast enough. Next one we have is the Octo. Next one we have is the Octo Balls. The Octo Balls will continue to try to roll at you while trying to bash you with their bodies, which is their only main attack. Which is their only attack, actually. But they're also the easiest ones to deal with by far. Also the easiest ones to deal with by far. They can easily be destroyed. They can easily be destroyed by just trapping them in your ink. They'll just slow down as you could just destroy them. Also, they're also difficult to destroy because if you try to shoot at them directly, they'll just charge through it. Well, or they might deflect. They'll just deflect. You could literally just charge. They'll literally just charge at you. What you gotta do is that's why you have to lay down the ink. Unless you have a special and you can just destroy them. Or you can use your burst bombs and just destroy it. Next one is the Octocopter. Basically, what the Octocopter does is that it will basically fly above you and try to shoot you with its mouth, with the ink from its mouth. And you can just defeat them by just standing under them and just booming them and just shooting at them until they're popped. Next one is the Deluxe Octocopter. The Deluxe Octocopter is the ones that are lifting up the Octo Shower, or the sanitized Octo Shower, if that is actually certain enough for you. The Deluxe Octocopters are actually really hard to deal with because in the Octo expansion, like, they're really hard to deal with as they shoot them out in spurts. And well, they're really hard to reach. And the original Deluxe Octocopter, they're really hard to reach as well, as they are difficult to reach. And yeah, and you're lucky even if you use the hero. If you use the hero charger, you can easily just destroy one of these by just aiming at it until you see like its lock on. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about is, if it will load, is the Octo Bombers. The Octo Bombers are the ones that fly in the air and they will shoot bombs down at you. They will shoot bombs down at you. They're splat bombs, the Octarian equivalent of a splat bomb, the same size as you. And they're really easy to deal with as long as you shoot them, but they'll occasionally jerk away. So yeah, the Deluxe Octo Bomber is the Rocket Octo Bomber. This one is hard to deal with because these ones they're actually the Octarian equivalent of a they're basically the Splatoon 2 equivalent of an Octo Striker, but this one has a tenor missile attached to it. It must be called the Octo Missile, but it will shoot at you, and it will just attack you. It will attack you, shooting it down, and it's also easy to deal with as they also jerk away. The next one I want to talk about is the Octo Stamps. The Octo Stamps will try to run at you and slam their faces to the ground. There's small tentacles at the bottom of it that you just want to pop. Also, if they hit you directly, it's a one-hit kill. No, it's not one hit kill. It probably is. Next one. Next one I want to talk about. Wait a second. Next one I want to talk about is the Octo Strikers. This is the main one I want to talk about. They also shoot, and also it's just like the one I just talked about, as they are just more durable and they just shoot it, as they just shoot it at you, but it's much more precise. But these ones are also much more hard to kill. They are much more hard to kill and are easily one of the hardest ones in the game. Next one we have is the Octo Hurler. The Octo Hurler will so basically what the Octo Hurler will do, it will sit down in the middle of the map. Basically, what it does, it hurls up these huge bombs, like not bombs. It will vomit up these huge pillars that you can deflect. If you deflect it at it, it will get destroyed. Next one I want to talk about is the Octo Seekers. The Octo Seekers are actually in a giant weaponized aircraft, but with an Octo Stomp base looking at the bottom of it, and a Twinsicle Octarian piloting it. As it will follow you if you're actually in the light view, it will follow you and it will actually stomp, and it will actually try to stomp down at you. If you're lucky enough, you can actually turn around and go up the back of it and just ride on it. What we have next is the Octo Zeppelins. The Octo Zeppelins are a big Octo Zeppelin with a huge tentacle, with a big tentacle sticking at the top of it. What you gotta do is that occasionally they will spin around while flying. And basically what you gotta do is defeat that tentacle, or if you're lucky, you will have one of those Gatling gun weapon, I don't know what they're called. Gatling gun. You know the ones that are in level 3? Like where you have to make that path and with ink? That's what it is. The next one that I want to talk about is the Octo Commanders. The Octo Commanders is basically an Octarian that will take time to charge its Splatling, and it will just shoot at you at a high speed. But after a while, it'll get tired, and you can just go in for the kill. Next one we have is Octo Ballers. This one is a bowling ball, but this one is a bowling ball with an Octarian at the top of it. What you gotta do is pop that Octarian, and it just gets destroyed. Next one I want to talk about is the Tentacook. Wait a second. Okay, so the Tentacook is basically an Octarian on roller skates. If you try to go near it, it will just run away with great speed. It will run away in a quick speed, and occasionally it will just shoot bombs out of it. If you're lucky enough, you will corner it and you'll be able to pop it. And sometimes it drops a key. And sometimes it drops a key. So yeah. The Sanitized Octarians are basically the ones I just the same ones I just talked about, but they're just more buff. But out of all of them, like, I just want to put them at a I'll just put them all at an S tier. Next one I want to talk about is Judd. All you have to know about Judd is that I hate him. He's a cat and a demon. Judd will basically announce the winner after a match. In the first game, it was just him, and in the next game, it was him and Lil Judd, which I will talk about later. So yeah, he basically just announces the winner of the match at the end of it. And yeah, he would basically announce the winner of a match along with Lil Judd, which we'll talk about later. We'll put him at C tier. Okay, so next one I want to talk about is Lil Judd. Lil Judd is basically what happened was with Lil Judd is that basically when Judd was going through the time machine, he created a clone of himself, and now we got Judd and Lil Judd. So Judd and Lil Judd is a lighter version of him. It has black. And unlike Judd, which has dark black bow tie and strands, I forgot what it's called. Referee, it's basically the ref version of Splatoon. And yeah, and he will also show up. He will also show up at the end of a match. Also with Judd, like when he's sitting down on his mat, Lil Judd will actually stay awake and actually just talk to you if you actually go up to him. But if you're lucky enough, Judd will actually talk to you as well. That is if Judd is awake. But if you're really lucky, that's actually extremely rare, extremely hard to find. Lil Judd has a lighter shade of fur in a bow tie. Well, it's not actually a bow tie. It's just his fur made to look like a bow tie. And suspenders. So yeah, I'm going to put him right there with Big Daddy. And the last one, so I finally have to be done with this video, is Sea Cucumber. Sea Cucumber is basically the commander of all these missions. Which is really annoying because if it actually gets destroyed, and level girl power, okay? If it gets destroyed, Sea Cucumber, he will just say test failed, and the thing will get destroyed, and the low battery will get destroyed. But you can repair it with just shooting at it. So yeah. And basically, if you fail a level with the 8-ball, he will literally just blow you up. It would say test failed. If also there's another one with the batteries with the Octo Zeppelins. And the Octo Blimps. Basically, if the battery gets destroyed again, he will actually say test failed, and he'll just blow you up again. With the tic-tac-toe one, if you actually miss one, if you don't put it in a diagonal, left, right, straight, he will blow you up again. Side to side, up to down. Like, he will literally just blow you up. He doesn't care about anything, but just those tests getting done. Just like my teacher. Okay, what am I going to put him in? I'm going to put him in B tier. And that's it. We have completed it. Wait 1 second. So, guys, wait a second. This is my tier list. What do you think? No, you go back there. back there. What do you think? So this is my tier list. So yeah, longest Slayer 101 video. What do you think? I hope this could jog your memory of Splatoon. So yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to the channel, really helps me out. See you guys next time. Bye.